Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video. I'm gonna cut straight to the chase. We're going on a bear hunt and I'm using this Savage 110 KLYM. If you watch the show, you would have seen I've been getting crazy good groups. I've already tested 3 different types of factory ammo out of this thing. 5 out of the 6 groups that I did yesterday at the end of the day were under 1 inch. 2 groups were under 1/2 inch. So this thing is not picky on the bullets, and I'm super excited about it. Definitely been doing my due diligence on camera and off camera, getting ready for this hunt. So assuming we can get on a bear, when old Hootie breaks the trigger, we're not gonna miss. But very impressed with this thing so far. You'd know why if you've seen the videos on this so far. Really nice Zerotech. This is actually not out yet. This is going to be coming soon from Zerotech. I'm doing some field testing stuff for them. I got all those really good groups with this. This is a 1.5 to 12 power optic. It's what they're calling an MPVO, medium power variable optic. Smaller footprint, and on a 300 Win Mag, it's been real groovy. But carbon fiber, everything. This is a real lightweight Savage. This bear hunt I'm going on, a lot of times they'll call them media hunts. It's where a couple companies get together and let's go hunting, and we'll get some footage, we'll get some pictures, we'll have a good time while we're doing all of it. So it's kind of like we're doing marketing stuff, but at the same time we're going hunting with a bunch of friends, and it should be a good time. That being said, they're telling me what ammo I got to use. So for this video, should I keep it a secret or should I not keep it a secret? For this video, I got to get that Savage dialed in with that ammo that we're taking, and then I'm going to stretch it out. That's going to be the most fun part of this video, and keeping the confidence building going up with this Savage for my bear hunt. So let's go out to 100, boom. Make sure that this is good on paper, and then we'll take it out further on some steel. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I forgot I need to make the dope card for this so we can stretch it out. So let me do that real quick. Actually, I need to chronograph that, and then I'm going to do that real quick. Be right back. Meet you out there at the 100-yard ring. All right, so here's a good example of why, if you're going to do anything at any sort of distance, you need to chronograph. 2891 feet per second. About average, a little bit low actually, maybe on the 300 Win Mag side. The box for this stuff called for about 70 feet per second faster than this. So if I just use the box numbers, man, I could be off by quite a bit, you know, by the time we're at 400 or 500 yards. But I'm gonna run another one just in case and use the average. All right, so this one was 29.26. I'm gonna take the average of that as 2 and use that for my speed, my velocity, for my drop chart. All right, we got to get some of the nerdy stuff out of the way so we can make sure we're doing our best we can. Got to get all that precision stuff done. So, Caldwell staple table. Just put one of these together. Caldwell DFT2 rest. Favorite rest that I got. I saw they're coming out with some more. Savage 110 KLYM. Zerotech scope. That's not quite out yet. By the way, we get 20% off Zerotech now, so look for that link and the code down below. And on the end, I got my shusher. That's a Banish 30 V2. But I'm gonna do all this from the magazine. Normally when I'm doing precision stuff, I just single load. But since we're I'm gonna load these under the table because it's a secret, huh? I gotta keep you suspenseful. But since I'm going to be using this rig, I can already tell you I need to oil the bolt. Since I'm going to be using this in a hunting situation, I'm practicing from a hunting situation. So center target, I got my target camera going. Let's just send 3 into the middle and see where we're at. This is sighted in with some other ammo. Let's do all the zoomies just for this. Looks like a tad low. That'll do, won't it? That one hit a shade high. The average is like a smidge low though, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up 2 clicks. Let's do another group. Putting them in there. Yeah, it's stacking them in there. I'll measure those groups at the end of the video, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring it back down one, which is that way. And before I put it in my case, actually right now I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna reset this turret to 0. And yeah, we'll reset the turrets to 0 so there's no confusion. We're dead on right now. I'll be right back. I'm gonna do that before we do anything different. Confuse myself. Now, if you didn't know what I meant by zeroing my turret, this is what I'm talking about. So we're adjusting this, getting it dialed in at 100 yards. Well, now that I got it dialed in perfect at 100, I reset my turret to 0. I just took this screw out, picked up the top, and then put it back down on 0. So now when I have my drop chart and we go out to distance, if my dope calls for 2.1 mils, I'm just gonna go, boom, send it, since I have this dialed in now. So let's go to 200 first. All right, so 2909 is my average of those 2 speeds. We could do, do it 10 times and get a better data sample, but I'm cool with 2. 2,909 feet per second, and I'm doing it at sea level. Once we get to where we're going, I'll redo these numbers. I haven't looked up what the altitude is yet there. So, but here, I know what it is, and we're not too far from sea level, so I'm gonna screenshot this, and then I'll put it in the video so you guys can see what I'm talking about. 200 yards is what we're gonna do first, with all those numbers in there. It's calling for 200 yards. I mean, realistically, you can just hold the reticle, but I'm gonna go ahead and dial it. 0.37, so I'm gonna dial, lock it down, and then I'll go for a center punch at 200. Let me go get my target camera going. So just for sake of knowing, I said 0.37 mils. Well, this is gonna drop 2.6 inches at 200 yards, so not much. 200 yards you don't need to dial, but I'm just doing it for sake of precision and for sake of practice. Let me get my camera going on that 200 yard gong, and then we'll get to ripping them. All right, now 200 yards. Now, man, I keep having to change the camera angle because of the sun. Now, hopefully we don't miss at 200 yards. 0.37 mils, 2.5 inches a drop. It's pretty flat to 200. Target camera's on 200. I'm gonna hold dead center since I dialed. Let's see where we're at. I'm not gonna practice quick follow-ups. I'm just still testing this rig and its precision and my math. Hit a little high right. We still would have got that bear, but not as close to center as I wanted it to be. If we average there, we'll bring it a little left, but at 100 yards, we were dead on left to right and up and down pretty much. Let's focus on my squeeze here, send 2 more. To hit the same spot. Wind shouldn't be doing much to us at 200 yards, plus looking at the trees, there's not hardly any wind anyways. Same spot. We'll go down there and look at them, but 200 yards, I'm smoking it. I'm gonna click it left just a shade. It's hitting right, so we need to go left. Now let's go to 300 and get set up. So my dial was just slightly high, which is what it should have been. What's my 300 yard dial say for mils? Do it right now while I'm thinking about it before I switch it up and forget. For 300, we're calling for 0.98 mils, so full mil essentially. Lock it down, let's go to 300. I'll move the target camera over there. I was sitting here looking for some ammo. Well, I already loaded the mag. Whoa, this angle, we don't need it way up there. We need to bring this sucker way down. Same setup, same everything, same table, same rest. I might have to get we need to adjust the table, bring the table down. Be right back. Good thing we have this adjustable Caldwell stable table. Ha ha! Seriously. It might have been too much. Nope, perfect. Oh man. Here's where we kick it up and have some fun. 300 yards. Double check my target camera. One mil, almost no wind. We've had some crazy gusts today, but right now, I wish you could be here with me because this is fun. Wiggle my parallax just a shade more. 300. Let's send one. That's a Caldwell AR-500 deer target. That is not a life-size deer target. I want to say it's a 1/3 deer target. But if we can get that, that's definitely in the money zone on a bear. Here we go. 300 yards on a fake deer. See? I'm gonna check the target. I came out of the scope. Let me check the target camera. I didn't hear it, but I also didn't see where it was. We gotta leave that mess in there. So let me bring up my drop table again. We dialed it for 1 mil. 1 mil is supposed to be 10.5 inches. So, that being said, let me take the dial off and let me look in the reticle. So if I hold 1 mil, yeah, it'd pretty much be holding 10 inches over. But, I think we hit high. So for 300, I'm gonna back it off to 8 mils. I said 8 mils, 0.8 mils rather, for 300, and do the same hold. Yeah, so I was high. Definitely was high. And I hit the shade up and right of where I was holding. So I'm gonna back it down. Let me measure it in my scope. I'm gonna go 0.6 mils for 300. And just hold that same spot and see what happens. Oh, we hit it maybe slightly lower. I don't think I stayed in the scope on any of those, but let's hit that still some more. I'm still a shade high and right. I'm gonna bring it down to 0.5 mils and I'm gonna hold slightly left. Man, it's like there's a magnet on me. I keep going over to that same spot on that deer. Goodness. At least I'm hitting it, huh? But I wanna put it exactly where I want it. But 300 yards, half a mil is getting me on steel. Let's send another one. There we go. That's right where I'm holding it. We got one more. Steel is just more fun at paper. I mean, than paper, especially at distance. We can't end on a miss. I think I held too far left. You guys would have seen it in the video. Let me send one more. I don't think the heat would bother it that much, but it could be. Could be. We just sent, I don't know, 5 or 6 in a row. Here we go. There we go. I got one more in my pocket. Smacked him again. That's a balled up bear right there. All right, so we checked it with this ammo. Almost dead on. I brought it up 2 clicks, then after this I brought it down 1, but I'm gonna say both of these are inside of an inch. This one's probably 0.9 something. I've measured 1,000 of these. I'm pretty good at pointing them out. This one, if you look, this hit is in the center, and then this hit is barely over that line there. So I'm gonna call that one probably in the 0.6 inch group. That's money, money, money. That's acceptable for taking out in the field and hunting with. That's pretty good. First time ever testing this stuff. Also, by the way, that is 8 groups of 3 out of that Savage. 7 out of 8 have been under an inch. Several of them, including this, well under it. Let's go look at the 200 yard steel. All right, now 200 yard steel. This is Caldwell AR 500, by the way. I just put these targets out and they're groovy. At 200 yards, I was coming off the center line, wasn't I? But we got 3 on steel, but probably 2 inches right there. Overall, I'll put my thumb up there. That's probably probably just over a 2 inch group at 200 yards. Now, let's go to the 300. That one was the most fun for me, plus it was a deer target, but we didn't miss the 200. Can't miss the 200. All right, now here's our 300 yard deer. I don't know about you guys, but it's more fun hitting a critter cutout than a gong. Gong's still fun, but this is fun. And I think I missed 2, didn't I? Ugh. Really favoring high though, wasn't I? The first ones I did over here, and then I adjusted and we hit the several here. But we're hitting a target at 300 yards with the 300 Win Mag. I'm definitely gonna do some more testing before we get out in the field, do some prone stuff, off a bag, so on and so forth. But if we can't do it off a bench in perfect conditions, then we're really not gonna be able to do it in other conditions. But hey, that's just fun. I can't wait to edit this video and see this thing just going bong. That's a Caldwell AR 500 deer there too. Sweet, really sweet. You can see lots of rocks here. All right, there's people sleeping right over here, and I'm editing this video at like 2 in the morning, so I'm gonna keep it quick and I'm gonna whisper. Going on a bear hunt, Savage 110 KLYM. Got that new Zero Tech on it. You can't get it yet, but you'll be able to get those soon. Yeah, I did just put those groups on the calipers, those 100 yard groups, so we have it documented. We got a 0.92 in the middle, and then we got a 0.68. So I'd say if we can find some bears and get within some reasonable distances, we won't have any problems. But hey, appreciate you watching. Stay tuned for more. Keep your fingers crossed we find some bears. Appreciate y'all. I got tons of videos on the way. You don't want to miss them. We'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you're subscribed. Tons more videos. Appreciate y'all. WHOTEEWHO. It don't make a difference.